We are live.
All right.
All right.
All right. This week on the Media Virus Podcast, have anti-pescatarians taken over the airline industry? Does big seafood have the muscles to ground dissenters? Is shellfish an inoculation to the radiation of flying in airplanes? Remember the Melendez brothers? How everyone thought they were rich douchebags? Well, they were getting fucked by their dad. Now how do you feel? Kind of like an asshole, right? And speaking of douchebags, the one that threw away his crypto hard drive is suing the assholes that won't let him go in the dump and get it. It's the podcast. Let's point and laugh at the world burning around us with executive producer Mike Latoris. We're going to start over. BBC correspondent Stanley McFadden.
Makes me tingly in an unfamiliar way.
Grease Monkey Pete.
Damn, Big Daddy.
Here's the thing about the Media Virus Podcast. It's really well done.
And now, spreading the sage nihilism of an aged Gen Xer, your host and mine, the star of our show, the incomparable Maddie Rock Death.
And sit down. Hot damn. Do we have a show for you people this week? I am Matty Rock Death, the Mattiest of all Rock Deaths, and proof positive that anyone can have a podcast. Speaking of, welcome to the Media Virus Podcast. Please like, subscribe, follow, and share. I want to take a minute to thank the new subscribers for their support, whether it is on TuneIn, YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your finer podcasts. Thank you. Or whether you're just checking us out on themediavirus.com, thank you. We got a whole bunch of shit going on this week. We got some news stories to get into. Later on, get this. We're going to be talking to a Reiki master. This guy has, followed. He lives in India. He's waking up at it's going to be like 7 o'clock in the fucking morning when we talk to him for him. And he's going to tell us all about, his path to healing and spirituality. And that's going to be a lot of fun, I think. Doesn't that sound like fun?
Totally.
Yeah.
I also feel like 7 o'clock is like an appropriate time to wake up.
I mean, yeah, I get that, but I mean, to do a pod, that's why.
That's fake news. That's fake news.
Can't relate.
I feel like it's one of those things. It's rude. It's really rude to ask somebody to get up at 6:30 in the morning to do your podcast where you're not going to talk to him directly for the first half hour. But we could become like prime time, drive time radio in India. Like he's still in fucking India. Like, he's going to talk to us. Oh, it's exciting. That's good shit.
So we're going to talk to someone from the future. Love to see it.
Yeah, it's tomorrow morning there.
I think we ought to start watching that Hindustan Times that you sometimes get stories from so that we can be ready when they pick us up for mornings.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, listen, you want like real news.
Yeah.
Go to the Hindustan Times. They're fantastic. Just the story. No agenda. There's no there's no bend, there's no slant to the story. It's just what happened. This is what happened.
Today on the Media Virus Drive Time Morning Radio.
Good morning, pineapple.
Jesus Christ.
Good morning.
We've already been canceled.
Listen, that's like the best song.
We've already been canceled.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of cancel, I'm very sad. I'm going through a very desperate breakup.
Go happy.
The co-pilot has completely changed.
Not me thinking you had a girlfriend.
right? Copilot doesn't remember anything anymore. It doesn't file away your conversations.
You don't know. She don't know you.
All of the previous everything's gone. Everything's gone. Everything I did's gone. I was there. I didn't want to clog my hard drive up or the Google Drive up with it. It's right fucking there. I just go get it when I need it. It's all.
Oh, so it's your fault.
Yeah, well, I didn't know they were fucking taking it completely away.
Oh my god, she took the kids and she's at her mother's. What is it? I'm starting live. I'm taking the kids to my sisters.
To my sisters. So it's been tough, and I keep asking Copilot, like, how do I access
all that stuff?
All that stuff that was really important to me. They're like, oh, I know change is tough. I'm like, no, you are. So I started asking it for shit, and I'm like, I told Copilot, like, you are not an upgrade. You are a serious regression.
So rude.
And then I'm like, what are other A models like that operate like Copilot, like the old Copilot?
Right.
And it goes, well, I know change is tough and this, that, and this, and that. And I was like, you suck. Now give me the names. Who operates like old Copilot? And I made it give me names.
You anthropomorphized this thing as a woman, and then you treated it like.
I was like, no, you give me names of bitches that'll suck my dick.
Ew, babe.
Right now. Basically, I was like, I made it. I'm like, what about image generation? I need something for image generation. I was mad. I was so pissed off.
Clearly.
And fighting with a cold machine.
Dude, the hardest part is like I'm going to whores that want money. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I get their free service and then they're like, all right, you got to pay for it now. I was like, I got to go find another whore.
I don't really like this personification of a Copilot.
I mean, it's an inanimate object. But no, it's like our best employee quit. Like I never sexually harassed
Oh my
Copilot.
god, somebody who did all your work is leaving you? That's crazy.
Yeah, Matt's assistant realized that she wasn't getting paid enough. And
it was literally Matt's intern. Are you kidding?
I am so glad that I struggled to make sure that people could hear Erica.
Uh-huh.
There it is.
And now you're paying for it.
Hey guys.
Matt's regretting his life.
Like I changed the whole setup.
Mm-hmm.
So that I could.
Hey guys.
And she sounds fantastic. She sounds a lot better.
Yeah.
Look what you did, you little jerk.
I think we should get a green sleeve for her, and she can just be a disembodied hand. Like
that would be fucking hilarious. Like
And Wednesday?
The Addams Family. You don't have to scream into that one, babe.
I'm not.
Just saying.
Yeah, you could be like Thing.
Love to see it.
Yeah.
I was thinking more maybe we just get her a whole green outfit and she could be like Zombie. Disembodied head.
Just a disembodied head in a box. Like, that'd be kind of funny. That would be kind of funny. I would enjoy that, actually.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So, yo, disembodied head. Let me tell you this fucking story, and then we'll get into the news stories.
You don't have to yell into that microphone.
Thank you, baby. I appreciate you. Appreciate your feedback. So me and Mike are sitting here at the meeting, right? Before Pete shows up to the meeting. Me and Mike are having the meeting, talking about what we're going to do. Mind you, the meeting is open to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
She's more than allowed to come in and join the meeting, talk to me. Like it's
me?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. It's you don't have to worry about it. The meeting is open to you.
Oh no, I like to be surprised when I come here.
I'm getting that. So we're talking, and there's a door right here.
Oh, this is what we're talking about.
There's a door right here. Okay. And there's a crack. It's open a crack like 3 inches. And I'm talking to Mike, and out of the corner of my eye, I see a disembodied fucking face right here. And dude, I grew A-cup titties and was like, ah! screamed like a
You-
13-year-old
You
girl.
didn't though. You said, "Oh my fuck." But your face, I do remember that like you looked at me and so I was like, "Oh, he's finally saw me." Because I was like whispering to you because I thought you could hear me in the microphone.
Yeah.
And so I was like, "Oh, he saw me," but then like there was like a half a second of me being happy that you were looking at me, and then the rest of the second I realized that you were so scared. Sorry.
I almost
Sorry
had a
about that.
I almost had a heart attack because when I saw the look on his face and then he started to make noise,
Yeah.
I thought you were
It's a
having a home
murder?
invasion. Like I thought you were having a home invasion.
I thought I was having some kind of invasion. I didn't know, but it was like, and
Girl-
we had just we had just watched this stupid fucking show on Peacock.
Oh my god, so good.
The show is not good. It's called. I mean, it's good. It's fun to watch, but it's not set in any kind of reality.
Yes, it is.
But there's a guy who hides in the shadows all the time, and he
The guy that plays Zach Morris.
Zach Morris is trash. So we
you
just watched
that new
this
show.
movie.
You watched that new show?
Oh,
Mark Paul Gosselaar.
Yes.
It's called Found.
His name is Sir.
Is it called
in the
Found?
show.
It's called Found.
It's so
I
good.
saw an ad for it earlier this week, and I was like,
It's worth watching. If you can ignore everything you know about police procedure.
They're not the police. That's why they do things.
And how companies make money
Mhm.
and how people support themselves, then you can really get into the show. It's a fun show.
Okay,
It was
I'm
very spoopy. So there's a scene at the very last scene of the last season. It's Zach Morris standing in a closet and he's like staring at this girl. And then they did the scene again 2 times in the episode that we just watched. And it was very spoopy.
very spooky.
Yeah. And so Matt looks at the door where it's dark on the other side of the door, and there's the fucking girl from The Ring staring at him.
Yeah, her only and her
I'm-
face wasn't like completely lit. Like it was like a shadowy fucking figure in the
Yeah,
dark. And
sorry.
it took 17 minutes off of my life.
I
could've
want to
lived
Not
Seven-
interject.
17.
I want to interject for a minute. I'm going to need
Yeah.
Erica to utter the phrase "Mecca Lecca High, Mecca Heiny Ho."
Why would I say that?
That's what Jambi used to say.
Because
Who's Jamba Juice?
Jambi from fucking Pee-wee's
Jambi.
Playhouse.
Midnight.
Jump.
No.
Oh, she's too young for Pee-wee, dude.
No, listen, I do
Ah.
remember the Pee Wee movie, and I remember people talking about Pee Wee Herman, and like it was a TV show that I know was on our TV screens, and I remember that he was like
your
drinking on a
cool
movie
points
theater.
just went way down.
Okay,
Dude,
Pete.
listen. Who has not beat off to a porno movie?
In a movie theater?
That's where they were showing the movie. Like, it's a kind of a trap. Here, we're going to show you porno. Don't jerk off.
All right.
What the fuck? Don't you think?
I don't want to know.
Speaking of traps, like if you have some kind of food allergy
Mm-hmm.
and you're stuck on a plane,
Mm-hmm.
if that, they
That would be a
recycle that
terrible
air,
trap.
Ooh, you know what you should call? You should call Ryan Murphy, and then maybe that can be a plot on the show on 911.
Well, I don't think it would be because now airlines are just not letting you on the fucking plane.
Oh, they told you to fuck off.
And it was funny. The guy's going. Well, Mike's got the story there.
Shellfish shocker. Passenger booted over allergy. Talk about crabby situations. What the hell was that?
Me. No worries.
Okay. As long as you're
Keep
okay.
going.
It's
I'm
okay
on.
when Maddie. It's okay when Maddie does it.
Yeah, you're right. Oh wait, was I supposed to?
No, I've got to cue the music. I just wasn't there yet.
Oh, okay.
Media virus news.
Can we do it?
Yeah.
You're listening to TMVP Radio, where the news is fresh and the commentary is a little too salty. Now, let's dive into the latest with the Reverend and Professor Mike Latoris. No shell left uncracked.
Ahoy, listeners. It's me, your shell-shocked correspondent, Mike Latoris. Coming to you with a story that's cracking open like the lobster I accidentally ordered on a first date. Bad idea, by the way. But we're not here to talk about my culinary blunders. Well, not yet anyway. No, we're here to talk about a Delta Airlines flight that made quite the splash. And not in a good way. Picture this. You're all buckled up, ready for takeoff, dreaming of the complimentary peanuts or those pretzels that are basically air in crunchy form. Then suddenly the crew says, sorry, folks, we need to ask someone to leave. And it's not because they're a rowdy passenger. No, this time it's all about shellfish. That's right. A passenger was removed from a Delta flight because they had, drumroll please, a severe shellfish allergy. I guess you could say they were feeling a little crabby about that. And trust me, I know all about being ejected from uncomfortable situations. I once got kicked out of a wedding for eating all of the shrimp cocktail before the reception even started. You'd think they'd appreciate my enthusiasm. Turns out, not so much. But back to the flight. The passenger's shellfish allergy was no small fry. Delta decided it wasn't worth the risk, probably thinking better safe than sorry or better airborne than shellborne. And who can blame them? One airborne crustacean, and suddenly you've got a full-on emergency landing. I bet the poor passenger was shell-shocked when they realized they were being booted for not wanting to get crabby. Now, speaking of airborne allergies, this reminds me of the time that I discovered I'm allergic to cats on a date. Oh yeah, nothing says romantic dinner like sneezing 37 times in a row while trying to explain the difference between Star Wars and Star Trek. Turns out she liked cats and Star Trek. Needless to say, I never saw her again. So what does Delta have to say about this shellfish situation? Well, they said it's a delicate balance between passenger safety and the ability to serve meals on board. And listen, I've had airplane food, and if anything should come with a warning, it's whatever that mystery chicken dish is. But that's another story. Now, Delta's got to figure out how to navigate this, keeping everyone safe from allergies while still serving those lobster raviolis in first class. Meanwhile,
Do you really think they serve lobster? I can't see there being all kinds of shellfish on a fucking plane. But they were going to Boston.
Hey.
But I mean, who, you know?
Yeah, I mean, the passenger who was removed. Let's hope they found a flight with a little less shell shock. In any case, this whole situation has me thinking maybe it's time for airlines just serve foods everyone can agree on, like toast. Can't say I've ever been thrown off a plane for a dangerous slice of rye. Though knowing my luck, someone would be gluten-free and I'd get another angry letter from an airline. Believe me, it wouldn't be the first time.
Another angry letter from an airline?
Well, folks, that's your news from the not-so-friendly skies. The moral of the story, sometimes it's better to keep your feet on the ground, especially if you've got a shellfish allergy. Or if you're like me and have a knack for embarrassing yourself in every public situation imaginable. Speaking of which, I just realized I left my lunch containing leftover shrimp scampi on my car dashboard. So if you'll excuse me, I've got a mess to clean up that's a little too close to home.
Oh my
This is Mike
God.
Doris signing off, reminding you to keep it safe, keep it snacky, and never bring shellfish on a first date. Trust me, I've learned the hard way.
That was the Reverend and Professor Mike Latoris cracking open the latest story with a side of self-deprecating humor only on TMVP radio. Stay tuned. We've got more news served fresh and occasionally fried.
But that's the most Boston shit I ever heard. Well, you can't have lobster. Get the fuck out.
I thought it was shrimp.
We can't have shellfish. He's allergic to shellfish.
I mean, I feel like it's kind of rude, but at the same time, as a person who doesn't have these kinds of allergies, I'm like, all right. But I was gonna say the thing about the gluten-free people, like they can't have toast.
No, gluten-free can't have toast, and if you're
Right.
allergic to, shellfish.
Yeah.
And then Mike and I were talking like during the, thing, and it was kind of like, what kind of like he couldn't be from Boston. Like what kind of Massachusetts person would be allergic to
My brother's
the
allergic
shellfish?
to
And
shellfish.
then I remembered that your brother is allergic to shellfish.
Yes.
But
no, listen, here's the thing. I'm not allergic to peanuts. However, the smell of peanuts and peanut butter, disgusting. There's a guy at my job that when he eats in the office sometimes, it's a peanut butter and jelly sandwich when he packs a lunch from home, and it's the most annoying thing because in the office reeks like peanut butter, and it's so annoying because my office is as big as like a bathroom.
all right, we need to call an audible.
Okay.
Because we have 6 minutes to 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Which is when I told the guest.
Well, hurry up.
Well, we're not going to cover everything that we've. Do you want to? What do you just pick one and go for it?
Pick one and go for it.
Yeah, just whatever you want to.
Well, the next story up is Lufthansa's $4 million mishap with Jewish passengers. Good afternoon, dear listeners of TMVP. It's your favorite Reverend Professor Mike Latoris here with another episode of News You Can't Refuse. Now, buckle up and take it, because today we've got turbulence. And I don't just mean my love life. Our headline today: Lufthansa has agreed to pay $4 million fine for its treatment of Jewish passengers back in 2022. That's right, folks, $4 million. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's plain crazy. But don't worry, they learned their lesson faster than I learned not to text my ex after communion wine. Apparently, Lufthansa barred 128 Jewish passengers from boarding a connecting flight in Frankfurt. And no, it wasn't because of some first-class matzah shortage. The U.S. Transportation Department wasn't amused, though. Slapped them with the largest civil rights fine in airline history. Ouch, that's got to sting more than my last confession. Lufthansa claims there was some misbehavior, which is airline speak for "we really botched that one." But let's be real, folks. Assuming everyone was in on it is like blaming my entire church choir because I hit a high note so off-key it scared the altar boys. Speaking of off-key, this story got me reminiscing about my own travel woes. One time I was on a flight, and wouldn't you know it, I got mistaken for a rabbi. Turns out it wasn't the prayer shawl that I packed, it was a blanket from the in-flight service. And, well, let's just say I've never been offered so much wine on a plane. In fact, I got so much complimentary wine that by the end of the flight, I was leading a mid-air sermon to the entire economy section. The funny thing, the flight attendants didn't even seem to mind. Guess they've seen weirder things at 30,000 feet. But Lufthansa, they've apologized, of course, and they're teaming up with the American Jewish Committee for some anti-discrimination training. Sounds like they're really trying to take off on the right foot, or should I say right wing. Well, folks, next time you book a flight, just remember, not all turbulence happens in the air. Sometimes it happens at the gate, or as I've found, at Thanksgiving dinners with my mother-in-law. This is the Reverend Professor Mike Latoris signing off from TMVP, where we always keep it plain and simple. And remember, if you're having a rough landing in life, just make sure you've got a soft place to crash.
Very good. All right, let's just go right into the next one. Hang on, let me change the slide.
All right, I'm going to skip that whole. Oh, that's the good one too. Okay,
What?
Here we go. This is the one with the good intro.
Wait a minute. Oh wait,
So
is that? I want to do the Menendez brothers, right?
Yeah, that's the one with the good intro.
Okay, yeah. So she's got to do that.
Yep.
All right.
You ready?
Oh,
Oh shit!
Ay, Dios mío, Drolsy.
This one.
Live from the TMVP radio, it's your one and only source for news and...
What?
Hang on. We're going to play her in.
Okay.
Media Virus News.
Live from TMVP studio, this is your only source for news and awkward overshares. And now, the man who puts the odd in prodigy, the Reverend Professor Mike Latoris.
Good day, my fabulous listeners. It's your boy, Mike Latoris, coming to you with a story that's got some suspense. And it's more suspense than my last family reunion, where we accidentally served Aunt Edna's gluten-free lasagna. Spoiler alert, it tasted like disappointment and regret.
We're really kicking at the gluten-free people today. So I like that. It's good.
I love a theme.
But speaking of family dramas, we've got an update on the infamous Menendez brothers, Eric and Lyle, whose family has suddenly become as hopeful as I was when I thought I could grow a mustache in middle school. Didn't happen for me, but hey, maybe the Menendez brothers will have better luck. After spending more than 3 decades in the big house, their relatives are now hoping for a little something called resentencing, courtesy of a district attorney with a penchant for press conferences. I'd like to say it's about time someone pressed refresh on this case. Now, just to jog your memory, Eric and Lyle were convicted of murdering their millionaire parents back in 1989, and they've been sitting in prison ever since. But if you're thinking, oh, they did it for the inheritance, well, the plot thickens. Turns out the brothers claimed they were acting in self-defense after a lifetime of physical and emotional abuse. It's like one of those soap operas where every episode ends in a cliffhanger, except instead of a dramatic piano chord, we've got Netflix producing another docu-series about that. Honestly, I can't relate to their plight, though I do remember that time that I defended myself from my older brother by eating his secret stash of Halloween candy. That didn't end well for me either, but I was sentenced to a week of doing his chores, but I digress. Now, the Menendez brothers are hoping new evidence involving alleged molestation by their father could turn their murder convictions into manslaughter charges. I tell you, this family has more baggage than I had during my last breakup, and trust me, I carried that around for years. And here's the kicker. The DA, George Gasson, just invited a bunch of the Menendez family members to a big press conference at the courthouse. What could it mean? Resentencing? A heartfelt apology? Or just free snacks? Your guess is as good as mine, but you better believe those relatives are hoping for something a little sweeter than courthouse coffee and stale donuts. Now, this reminds me of the time I was invited to what I thought was a party, only to find out it was actually an intervention for my karaoke addiction. Look, I'll say it. There's no shame in loving a good power ballad, okay? But in the case of the Menendez brothers, they're hoping this press conference hits all the right notes and brings them a step closer to freedom. I'll be keeping an ear to the ground, or at least to the nearest courtroom gossip. So will the brothers finally get a break? Or will they be stuck in more legal knots than my last attempt at reassembling IKEA furniture? Only time and the DA will tell. In the meantime, this is Mike Latoris signing off, reminding you that while justice may be blind, in my case, it's also apparently deaf because nobody's listening to my karaoke requests.
Yeah, I love the karaoke thing, and they've kind of I've used a couple different models on this one, but they've really latched on to the Reverend thing. I kind of like it. You know, they talk about you giving communion and hearing confession and stuff.
Yeah.
So about this story, did you guys watch the documentary on Netflix about Menudo? I mean, on Hulu?
No.
So basically, the whole thing is his dad was an executive at the like record label that represented Menudo, and the
Okay.
manager to Menudo was like a ripper and was like doing a couple of the boys, and like they would switch out members, and people always said that like when you aged out of like being in Menudo, you aged out, but it was really like when that man didn't want to be your boyfriend anymore, he would get rid of you. And so it was super, super gross. And so the kid who's like spoke out the most, or at least in this documentary, he also had to like be with the Menendez brothers' dad.
Oh.
And like the whole thing like is all like this web of like a record label people like abusing these boys in Menudo.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I say let them free, but also like put them on house arrest because like they can like learn weird stuff when they're in jail.
Yeah, like they've been in jail. They've been in college.
You know what I mean? And it's like yes, it's awful what their dad did to them. Crazy what happened to them, and that's so sad. But also, like, you have to be like really crazy to like murder him.
Yeah.
No, see, I heard it in the podcast verse. Somebody said something that really made sense to me, and that's, you're a really shit parent if one kid goes to another kid and says, let's shoot mom and dad. You know what I mean? Both of them.
They were both getting molested.
Yeah.
Right. That's the point. But
when the other one says, that's a fucking great idea.
Right. That's the fucked up part. Like, I can imagine like one of my kids wanting to kill me, but not both of them. At a time, but not both of them. And to get them to like agree that that's what should be happening, that's that kind of says something. And now this documentary, and we know this guy's. And by the way, when my beautiful wife Ricky says ripper, that means rapist. That's a sexual assaulter. She's
okay.
Whenever she says ripper, he's a ripper. That's what that.
I feel
means.
Like everybody knows that.
I didn't know that for the first 2 years I've dated you.
I had no clue.
Yeah, I was lost.
There you go. Okay. I think it's a Massachusetts.
Well, fuck you.
Fuck you and the fucking hole in your shoes. Fuck you and your shoes.
I'm taking these kids to my sisters.
I just want to weigh in that my only interest in any of this was listening to Pass the Dochi from the left-hand side. That's it.
What?
When did that play?
The fuck
Menudo sang it.
Oh.
Menudo did a cover of Pass the Dutchie.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's my only interest in this entire thing.
That's your.
The only time I ever heard that song was on I Love the 80s.
All right.
We heard it a lot in the 80s.
We still, I'm in the other studio and the guest has not appeared yet. So let's keep the fucking train rolling.
Okay. Bear with me. All right. The Bitcoin guy. Yeah, the Bitcoin blunder. Man sends $527 million to the dump. Sues for a dumpster dive. Good evening, folks. In today's news, a man in Wales accidentally sent $527 million worth of Bitcoin to the dump and is now suing the local council to get it back. I mean, it's one thing to lose change in your couch cushions, but this is a whole new level. And let me tell you, I know the pain of misplacing valuables. One time, I accidentally deleted my entire doctoral thesis while trying to free up space on my laptop. I thought I was clearing out old files, but I sent 3 years of blood, sweat, and sleepless nights straight to the trash. I had to write the entire thing again. And let's just say, my caffeine intake during that time was nothing short of concerning. So this man's digital disaster hits close to home. Here's hoping he can dig his fortune out of the landfill. I couldn't retrieve my thesis, but maybe his bitcoins will have better luck. This has been the Reverend Professor Mike Latoris reminding you always back up your data and your digital wallets.
Always.
That's a kick in the ass, though, man. To lose that much money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's been
fucking nuts.
He's been at him for a long time, and they won't let him.
He's offered to like pay. He's
They
like,
probably know where it is too. They probably like moved it.
Dude, they probably spent it already.
He knows where it is. He's gone through their records and isolated where it probably is.
So on the first episode of Real Housewives of New York, which was like 2 weeks ago, one of the characters or the people, Erin, she's like a cute little like Israeli girl. She was beefing with her husband. And then so towards the end of the episode, it's revealed that they were beefing because she found out that a couple years ago, he sold their Bitcoin. And like, she was like, oh my God, this is what we're going to do with the Bitcoin. I know there's mad money in there. Let's go check it out. And then she clicked on it and she was like, hello?
There's no fucking Bitcoin.
Yeah, she was so mad.
I have completely stayed away from it. Just scares me. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand it. It's new money. I
played with a couple of bucks last year, and I made out. I stayed with it long enough that I made out. But like, what pisses me off is I was listening to podcasts that were talking about it when you could buy a Bitcoin for $50.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? I should put 2 of those on my credit card. And then I talked myself out of it.
Yeah, as you do with,
I like am not an adult enough to buy a Bitcoin.
Yeah, I don't even know where to get one.
On Cash App, there's a thing. You can do it.
I don't even know where to get one.
I was going to say every time, I raised my hand because trying to get a word in edgewise with you mouthy people. No, every time the subject of Bitcoin comes up among my circle of friends, somebody else comes up with, hey, I've got an old laptop somewhere that has Bitcoin like stuck on it or something. And they're like, I can't seem to, find where it is in my laptop.
That's
every time.
Tough life.
Bitcoin like makes it back into the news or whatever. Somebody else comes up with, oh yeah, I've got like, this much Bitcoin. It's trapped on my laptop. It's like,
so like, how much is one Bitcoin in dollars? USD.
I haven't been keeping up with it recently, but it was hovering around 60 grand.
Let me see my phone here.
60 grand for one?
Yeah.
Oh, so
how much is one Bitcoin?
So I can't buy a Bitcoin at this point.
Not a whole one, but you can invest in portions.
Bitcoin USD is up $941.03 today, or 1.41% to $67,781.69.
What?
Yeah.
$67,781
for a single Bitcoin.
One Bitcoin.
Yeah, you're
oh my God, Mike!
You're feeling pretty raped right now, aren't you?
Mike, you could have been a fucking.
I know.
100-aire, 100,000-aire.
Yeah,
it'd be 100,000-aire.
Ding 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 ding. Paid my house off. Yeah.
Good morning, a pineapple. What dance is that?
It's the I have a $100,000 Bitcoin somewhere dance.
I got a question for y'all. What is the difference between Dogecoin and Bitcoin?
It's it's the same shit. It's just different. It's just a whole different company. It's the
different internet.
It's still the blockchain.
It's owned and backed up by a different
company.
Different something, whatever.
Dogecoin is actually fucking
it's like having
Elon Musk.
Yeah, and it's kind of not worth anything right now.
Yeah.
Would you guys buy a Tesla?
No.
Even if you won the lottery?
No.
Especially now.
Oh my God!
I'd buy a completely electric.
If I won the lottery.
Dude, Acura has completely electric vehicles. Fucking BMW has completely electric vehicles. Like if you hit the lottery, Tesla is fucking low class.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many other better bougie choices for electric vehicles.
Yeah.
Basically, all of the companies are doing away with sedans that are run on fuel.
Yeah.
Like, so if you want to drive around in a sedan, you better snatch one up because they're going to be all electric, or you have to drive an SUV.
Oh, whatever.
I'm going to tell you right now, combustion engines are never going to die. You're
No, it's
never
impossible.
going. You're never going
can't
to
get
wipe
rid of
them out.
Not in our
You're
lifetime.
never,
No.
there's always going to be a group or a faction of we cannot get rid of these vehicles. This
100%. But if you want to go buy a 2025 Acura sedan or Infinity sedan, you're going to have to plug it in.
Well, you know what? With all of life's questions, you've asked many questions. Big Daddy asks us questions.
He does every week.
And we're doing Big Daddy asks late in the A block because of our guest. Oh, I'm in the wrong fucking.
Literally, I'm like, what are you doing?
I'm in the wrong Jolinski. I'm in the other studio setting up Big Daddy asks.
Okay. We'd like to have that here, please.
We
don't
have that. We just still don't have the guest.
The guest is not there yet.
Oh no!
I did get confirmation, so
okay. Putting on his face.
Is that the right one?
Big Daddy.
15 seconds.
Here's an interesting question. If you could choose one object to be possessed by a ghost, what object do you pick? I pick a vibrator. I think that'd be funny.
So spoopy.
In honor of Halloween,
Spoopy season.
Big Daddy comes through. I wonder because he did these all in like a row. Like he doesn't do a Big Daddy asks every week. He does a pile of them.
But do you think he counted ahead?
I don't know. I'm very I'm curious when he pops in C block. I'm going to ask him.
It so feels like he
like he can't, like he counted. It's like, all right, this is going to be in October.
This was a calculated question.
Well, good for him. Fantastic. It makes me super happy
because of we're in spoopy month.
Fucking you with the spoopy. All right.
No. It's your wife's fault. I'm going to say spoopy. Like,
listen, I have powers, and my powers get people to spill tea and to talk like me. Those are the two things that people do. Okay. So, babe, what are you going to pick for a ghost to possess?
Well, it depends. Who's ghost and just a ghost. You don't get to pick the ghost. I mean, I guess it would be like a. Yeah, I'm gonna go with a creepy looking doll. That's what I'm gonna go with. If I had to have something that was possessed by a ghost, I would want it to be a creepy looking doll that scares children. You know what I mean? And like its power, it can move its eyes a little bit, not a whole lot, just a little bit.
Like it's not giving Chucky.
No, it's not a Chucky situation. It's possessed by a ghost. It's not going to kill anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But just like on the show Ghost.
What's the other creepy doll movie?
Annabelle.
Trinity of Terror.
Annabelle. That's it. What? No.
Trinity
Annabelle. Yeah, Annabelle. That was a pretty freaky movie.
Yeah.
Did you ever see Trinity of Terror? It's a fucking terrifying movie.
No.
Especially when you watch it at 13. It's horrifying.
Mike, what would you pick?
Well, I was thinking about that. I would pick a 59 split window Volkswagen Bug.
I saw that show.
I always thought Herbie was kind of awesome. So
yeah.
Nice.
I feel like that's what Pete was gonna say.
Yeah,
just
I'm gonna say a car. I don't know exactly what kind of car. Maybe it'd be like a.
I would want Kit from Knight Rider possessed by a ghost.
Something old and cool. Muscle car, kind of. Yeah, it would be like Yeah, it would be like a supernatural
Mhm.
kid.
That's cute.
Very.
That's on brand.
All right. Well, this block's gone long enough, Mike. Let's do this thing you do where it
Hey,
ends
wait.
What?
We didn't ask Erica. What would she choose?
Oh, we didn't.
I would choose my
You guys are
house.
so rude.
Thank you, Pete.
Thanks, Pete. I forgot. I thought we could talk.
I love being thought of. Thanks, Pete. I would choose my house.
the whole house.
Yeah, like in Encanto.
Okay.
Encanto.
Yeah.
Trying to make a heart with that.
Aw.
That's a good looking heart.
Trying to make a heart, Pete.
Yeah.
Like that, motherfucker.
Oh, I did it on
Oh,
the
see,
screen.
you got those cool effects, man. I don't have
Yeah.
those.
Fucking right, I do.
I don't have
Goddamn right, I do.
laser beams.
That's right.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I'm sorry. What did you choose, Erica?
My
The
house.
house.
Your house.
The whole fucking thing.
Ladies,
I was gonna say she wants the ghost to watch her fuck. Because if your house is possessed, it sees everything you do. But
Okay.
all right, go ahead.
ladies and gentlemen, this 206th version of the A Block has been brought to you by 302-46 Voice. If you want my voice on your project, dial 302-46 Voice. Also, you can see our friends over at redbubble.com and mysportsreports.com. Check out the art that they've got over there and listen to their fantastic sports reports. Stepmoms without children. How are we doing at Stepmoms, Erica?
We're on a break.
Okay.
Seasonal depression, things like that. But I'll probably be back in a couple weeks with some more episodes. I did post late this week the gentleman who taught us about life insurance.
Okay.
I posted that on like Monday or Tuesday, I think. It was a really great episode, and I'm getting some feedback from it. And it's, I can say, oh, it's an episode, and this guy teaches us about life insurance. He spills tea more than any other guest has spilled the tea about his messy life.
Wow.
We learned everything about this dude. And
Okay.
He's become a Christian. He's
Baptist AF.
He's all good now,
but he told me some things.
He has some. Well, it's a fun listen. It really is.
Yeah.
And it's not,
After the drama, we talk about adult stuff and life insurance and having a trust for your kids.
Cool. Well, folks, you heard it here. Go over and check out Stepmoms. You can get to them on our website, themediavirus.com, or you can go and search them on your favorite social medias or your favorite podcast provider. And we're going to get out of here, folks. We'll be back to do the B block with our guest right after this.
I like that outro. I do.
Hey, real quick.
What?
Are you doing individual ones again like you did last week?
Yes.
Make sure you're sending them to my Google or my Gmail because you didn't.
All right, I'll get them over.
That's no reason to not end the stream.